While the average moviegoers are amazed by what they see at the theaters, the actual movie-making process remains a mysterious black box to most of us. So during this year's Shanghai International Film Festival, I caught up with the China General Manager of Columbia TriStar Film Distributors International. She shared with us some inside scoop of the movie industry. We know many people are curious about movie making, so as a senior distributor, how can you describe such a process in a nutshell?
Okay, first of all, we want to watch a good script. Because we watch a lot of scripts and we choose the best screenplay that we think will work for all over the world. And then after that, we select the director that can do the project, the actors, there will be a casting agent doing all this. And then once you start production, then we have a producer, financing. It's not a problem with us because we are a film studio. If it is not a film studio, then maybe you should get investment bankers, other producers. And after that, once the film is wrapped, once you finish post-production, and then it comes to my area, which is distribution. Then we have to market and distribute the film. Then we go into, finding out what's the best way to distribute the film, depending on whether it's action, drama, comedy.
Can you be more specific in the distribution process, the marketing and distribution process? How do you actually distribute and market a film worldwide?
Usually the films open in the U.S. first, if it is a U.S. film, of course. And then sometimes now more and more we are doing day-and-day releases. But if not, it's just the U.S. first and then the international market. In China, it's a different story. If it is a local production, then the world premiere is probably in China first, and in Asia, and then the rest of the world.
And then you sell the rights to overseas agencies?
In our case, since we're a studio, we keep our rights, and we do a revenue sharing with the cinemas.
Who are the major financial stakeholders involved in this process, you would say?
Usually, you probably have to go through an investment banker, banks as well, maybe another production company. In this case, if you come to China to produce, probably you need a local production company to work with. In our case, the studio, we finance our own projects most of the time.
We all know that the movie industry is a trillion-dollar venture, so how do the various stakeholders make money out of a movie?
There are different ways. That depends on the negotiation that you do with the individual producers. Normally speaking, what we want usually is to hold international distribution rights, but it depends on each deal. Sometimes you share the box office of individual countries. Sometimes you just put a lump sum amount, and then that is enough. You don't share any further. Usually we do all rights. It's theatrical, home video, television. If we want to buy rights, it's for all rights. If you have very good stakeholders, then you can make a big production, and then you have more funds. It allows the director to be more creative. Sometimes if he wants to do more special effects, he has the funds to do it.
Hollywood studios are known for their ability to produce a large number of blockbuster hits each year, while in China it takes a long time for a comparable movie to hit the box office. So what do you think makes the production cycle or time to market shorter in the U.S.?
We've been doing this for a long time. We work with different producers. There are different production companies. With different levels, we produce different films. Apart from that, we work with independent directors that may have their production companies in-house in our studio. We have a first look deal with them. Basically what it means is they come to us for any project. If we don't want to deal with them, then they can go to other studios. We produce from 20 to 30 films per year, just one studio. And there are hundreds of studios in the States that can produce very good films. I think in China what you lack is focus more on screenplay. I think most of the stories that I've watched, it's because the screenplay is not good enough sometimes for international audience. Maybe it's good enough for China, but when you work in the international market, maybe sometimes you need to explain a little bit more, because a lot of films are based on the Chinese culture, and maybe it doesn't cross over. It cannot go outside of Asia.
We just said in the U.S. a lot of studios will produce a large number of movies, and the time to market is very short. So does this mean that in the U.S. We can expect the production companies and distribution companies to see the return on investment much sooner?
Yes, it's a very fast process usually, because especially nowadays we're doing day-and-date release. In other words, the film can open in the U.S. and in 30 other countries all over the world on the same day. Before, you may have to wait for 1 month until the international market opens. Now it can be day-and-date. So it means that everybody will finish playing the film after 1 month.
Sometimes we know a movie won't be released until long after its production is completed. So who makes such decisions as far as scheduling these movie releases, and is there an economic rationale behind these decisions?
There is always an economic rationale, because okay, if it is a film for children, if I have an animated film, I will want to wait for school vacations, because I would know that the children can come to watch the film. But if it is a romantic comedy, I may wait for Valentine's Day. And if it is action, adventure, blockbuster film, that is easier, because I can start to play that in May. May is a very good period, like pre-summer release. Or summer. Summer is excellent, because we know that kids are out, everybody want to see movies. That is a period of time. They are like 2 or 3 golden times, what we call. One is the Chinese New Year period, the summer period, and the Christmas period. We never really put the movie away and wait for the film. Usually, of course, you may wait maybe a few weeks, a month maximum, just to prepare for the film, like marketing-wise. But we don't really, usually the schedule, we try to release all our films right after the U.S. release, or day-and-date. We don't like to wait too long.
Mrs. Chow also said that more production companies have chosen China as one of the regions for the world premiere of their movies. Now, this is, of course, due to the huge Chinese market, but also is an effort to protect against piracy.